why this is not going to work. I don't know how much blue I need in my skin. I don't know how much white. I don't know how much red. I don't know how much yellow. So just putting random dots on your face is not going to work, people. You need to actually know the undertones and how color theory works together. See tons of people using giant synthetic haired brushes like this. So when they go to blend, it's literally like wiping off the foundation. And then they're blending, and then they go, oh my god, it matches perfectly. Well, yeah, it's because it's all stuck in here now. Like, look at that. Literally just wiped my face off. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to my channel, as always. So, for today's video, I've been wanting to do this for a while, and by a while, I mean like 2 years. And then I saw on TikTok, everybody's doing this whole color theory thing where they're putting all these random dots on their faces and blah, 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 blah. Long story short, I wanted to try that challenge today. However, putting just random colors of dots all over your face, it's not going to actually give you your foundation color. You have to actually have an understanding of color theory in order for the colors to blend together to match your skin. Every single person has different undertones, skin tones, just warm undertones. You have orange warm, yellowy warm, olivey green warm. So that's 3 different warmths in one category. So it's very important to understand color theory. You can use it literally for anything, not just makeup, literally anything. As long as you know your color wheel, your complementary, analogous, all that fun stuff, you'll be set. So for today, I did this entire look, everything with just this, only using the colors that were in here. Definitely was a little bit of a challenge. It was a really good way to educate yourself on color theory, and the only way to really figure out, what works, what doesn't, is just to try. So if you guys want to see how I did this, then go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so the one product that we're going to be using is the Makeup Forever Flash Palette, because it has every color, well, every color that you can use to at least make other colors in it. I've never tried this, so let's go ahead, or I've tried this product. I've never tried this challenge, so let's go ahead and try to get started. So these cream paints, they are oil and wax based. With that being said, I get very, very oily in general. So before I even moisturize, I'm going to go in with an anti-shine. And I like to apply this before my moisturizer just because it will suck the oil out of your skin, rather than if you put it on top of a moisturizer, it's going to suck the moisture out of the moisturizer. It's going to suck the oils out of the moisturizer rather than your skin. So I like to go apply this all over my T-zone. And then for moisturizer, again, because these cream paints are an oil base, you want to make sure that you're using an oil-based moisturizer, not a water-based, because oil and water do not mix. So I'm just going to use this. Alright, so I think I'm going to start with my foundation. I have my palette knife, and of course my Makeup Forever Flash palette. The first thing I want to look for is my undertone. I'm very warm toned. When it comes to warm tones though, you have people that are more of a green, olivey undertone, and then you also have people that are more of like golden, warmer tone. So keep that in mind. If you're more olive, you're going to need more green. If you're more golden and orange, you're going to need more orange or yellow. So I'm going to just start off by, if I can, and excuse my nails, they're awful. Oh my god, they're so bad. Alright, so I always like to take some makeup sanitizer, sanitize it, and either way, I like to scoop them out. I don't like to use them directly out of the pan. So looking at this, I would definitely say I need orange. Since there's not an orange here, what makes orange? Red and yellow. Good job. So I'm going to take some red, put it on my palette, yellow, that on my palette. Oh my god, my face is so itchy. And we are going to mix till we get an orange, because I'm in the middle of like an olivey, orangey undertone, so this is definitely way too red still. Probably needed a lot more yellow. This is also, God, I'm making way too much foundation for my face, but you know what? That's okay. I'd rather make more of the foundation color so that way I can use the base that we're using here for my highlight, or for my concealer and my contour. So now looking at this, even though it's very bright and orange, the value though, if I were to put this into black and white, the orange is still going to be darker than my skin. So what is the lightener? White. So I'm gonna go in, I'm going to take some of the white, and I want to mix it to, again, if I were to transform the camera lens or the camera into black and white, that's the value of the color. So the value is the light or darkness of a color. And that can be a little tricky for a lot of people who don't really fully grasp color theory, but a really good way to do that is, again, take your phone and just put on the black and white filter. So I would say this is pretty close to value. So now, obviously this is not the color of my skin tone, so since it's so orangey, I want to go in, and the opposite of orange is blue. So blue is going to help cancel some of this out. I don't want to go in with just blue though, because the blue in the flash palette is a little dark. So I'm going to go in with green instead. That will also help add just a tiny bit of the olive tones that I need for my skin. Start off small. You don't want to spend all this time making the perfect shade and then accidentally add too much green and the whole thing is awful. Okay, so I went in and I added some green, and it's pretty close, honestly. Oh my god. All right, so I'm just gonna take a little bit of this just to see what we're working with. Oh my god, do you see how pigmented that is? Alright, so honestly, it's pretty close. It is a little bit too dark, so I am just going to add a tiny bit more white back into it. Okay, so it's a close enough base. We can always go in and readjust it once it's on. So again, the colors that I used for this was started off with red, yellow to create orange, added more yellow to get rid of the orange, and then added white to lighten it, added green to neutralize it, and keep mixing it until it's perfect. There you go. That was my formula. All right, so let's go ahead, dot this all over. These cream paints are extremely pigmented, so you don't need a lot. So that's why I said I definitely mixed a little bit too much foundation. And I am gonna go in probably with the second layer just because I like a little bit more full coverage foundation. Just wanna make sure that at least the base is on the right track. Okay, honestly, it doesn't look bad. Looking in the monitor, definitely it is a little bit too dark. So instead of adding white to our mixture and adding another layer of foundation that's going to be extremely heavy, I'd rather just go in, take some white, and do the little dot thing. Because the dot thing that I've been seeing all over TikTok is great for if you need to adjust your foundation color, shade, warmth, undertone, whatever. So this is a good way to, instead of, like I said, adding a whole nother layer of foundation, just kind of lightening it up a little bit. Okay, so can you see the difference, how this is matching a lot better compared to this side? So, and the nice thing about these are, because it's cream, they don't dry. So you can literally just keep going in and touching them up until you powder it. Once you powder it, it sets. Alright, one last adjustment I'd like to do on the foundation, just because I was looking at it and it still just looks a little bit too yellow. You guys can see compared to down to here. So I'm just going in now and I'm just adding a tiny bit of green. Okay, so now for concealer. I was going to lighten my face just a little bit more, but then I was like, you know what? Once I get the concealer on and that's blended in, we'll see where we're at. So I'm using the leftover of my foundation. I'm going to take white. And I'm going to take a little bit more than usual. And I'm only going to mix it in like half of this part because the other half I want to darken for contour. And you just want to lighten it just to like where your normal concealer shade would be. So I'd say like 2 shades lighter is ideal. So I think that looks pretty good. God, I hate using my hands so much sometimes. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, so we got our concealer on, so I'm going to do the exact same thing for my contour, except I'm not going to add black to make it darker. I am just going to use this brown shade. And just a little bit, because darker colors tend to go a long way. Alright, so you guys can see there, I've got my original foundation, concealer, and now my contour shade. Oh my god, it's dark. She is dark. So you know what, to cut this double chin, I may just use just black. Oh, you guys can see I'm just kind of dragging it down. Just because I was an idiot and used my sponge to go in, and now there's brown all over the sponge, but that's okay. You want to make sure you blend the jawline so there's not just a line. Whew, lordy, we contoured. Alright, I'm actually going to go back in with the concealer and just kind of go back in and help blend the contour and the concealer together just because, yeah. Alright, so that is the foundation. Before I go in and powder, I want to add some blush. So, I'm going to mix the peach with the pink and the red. I like more of like a peachy blush. Okay, so it's pretty bright, but we shall dilute it. Taking the concealer color and kind of again going back in and helping the concealer mix with the blush a little bit better, just so it's not like right in your face. Okay, so that looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and powder my face. So since this is really heavy makeup that we're using, it's not just like a normal foundation and my face gets so oily, I'm going to use the theatrical powder. This is the Mehron Colorset Translucent, and I'm also going to use a powder puff and literally just smack everywhere. First, I'm going to do my under eyes though, just because my under eyes crease really badly. I'm just going to bake my under eyes first, and then just taking some powder on a puff. Going to really set everything. I know this is so much powder. Guarantee any of you watching this is going to be like, oh my god, this is ridiculous, but this is how I professionally set cream makeup for like theatrical like films or theater, stuff like that. Like, you don't want this stuff to move. Oh my god, look at that matching skin. Honestly, my skin looks decent. I don't say that often, but it looks decent. It's a little cakey, but from further away, and especially if you're somebody like me who has poor vision, it looks great. So, alright, time to move on to eyes. I don't even know where to start. I was gonna do like kind of a fun, colorful makeup, but working with these is a little bit difficult doing like beauty makeup. So, I think I'm just going to do like a standard, like just neutral color. For the eyeshadow look that I'm going to do, I'm just going to use these three colors. So I grabbed the brown, the black, and then I mixed the yellow with the white to make it more of like a lemony color. So I don't know if powdering these with eyeshadow is technically cheating, so I'm just going to powder them with the same powder that I used for my face, since I'm not using regular like blush, contour, highlight, that stuff. So I'm just gonna try my best to not use any actual like makeup products. So let's start with the brown. I'm just gonna grab literally barely even touching it, and then just kind of feathering that out. These are really just crappy theatrical brushes. I don't want to ruin my nice expensive brushes with cream makeup. Also, try to use like a brush that has synthetic fibers rather than real hair, because synthetic will not absorb all the cream. All right, we're just gonna go for it. I have nothing on my eyes, so I'm just going to try to mimic eyeshadow. Again, I'm just very slowly starting to build this up, and as I'm bringing it up, I'm lightening my pressure of my hand a little bit. I have to go in with my finger. See, I will say that is the nice thing about cream. It's very malleable and it's very unforgiving. I'm gonna go in, build that intensity a little bit more. Now I can go in with the lid color. I'm going to use a flatter brush for that. Again, doing the same thing, barely having anything on the brush. Let's go ahead and pop that on the lid. I'm not doing like a cut crease or anything fancy. I'm just doing regular eyeshadow. Ugh, I will say the eyelid is definitely a little bit tricky. Cooperating the way I wanted it to. I'm having a hard time getting a nice seamless blend, but it's okay. I'll keep trying. Keep on trying. So now I'm going to go back in with the brown, focus on the outer corner. I'm going to add the tiniest amount of black just to deepen it a little bit. I'm going to wipe it off on a tissue. Oh my god, this looks awful. Oh. Alright, so this is a natural haired brush, but whatever. It's clean, there's nothing on it. This is not looking so hot. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Oh my god. What I'm having trouble with is because this right here is powdered, so you guys can see it's not wanting to blend because this is a cream, not an eyeshadow. I think we may have gotten ourselves into a little problem. I'll just take some white, put that on the brow bone, and see if I can help kind of take down some of this, because it's just looking extremely muddy. I'm not too fond of it right now. So I don't know if you guys can see, I brought the crease shadow way too high up to my brow bone, and it's looking funny. But adding the white, I think, is kind of helping. Alright, you know what? This is as good as it's gonna get. I'm just gonna go back in and touch the lid up because it is creasing, and it's creasing fast. Now what I'm going to do, pray to God, take a beauty blender and powder it, and we shall see what happens. Well, that's unimpressive. Alright, that's as good as she's gonna get. I'm gonna go do the other eye. I'll be back. Alright, this eye definitely was a lot easier to do, except when I powdered it, I realized there was like this harsh line right here. So since this eye look is so extravagantly boring, I thought I'd pop some gold in the inner corner. I tried to very lightly up here use some as a highlight color. Obviously it wasn't working that well, but because I don't know what I'm going to do for my highlighter. It's going to be the last thing I do, and it's probably going to ruin this whole look, but... Alright, so this, since it is a metallic, I am not going to powder it. This should move. It should be fine in my tear duct. I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner. So I have my black here. I'm not using my beloved gel Inglot eyeliner. That stuff does not move at all. This stuff, however, because it's cream, if you don't set it, it is going to move. So this is going to be my worst nightmare. I always line my top waterline as well as my lower. Alright, now I'm going to do the exact same thing for my top eyeliner, and then I'm also going to powder that as well. So I'm just going to take, this is the NYX Primal Colors in Hot Black. I don't know what just happened right here, but whatever though. Alright, so we're back. I have my lashes on. Last thing I want to do are my brows. So again, I have the brown and the black, and I'm just going to go for my normal brow shape. Alright, so here are the brows. They were a little patchy and a little blocky. They were just not going the way I wanted them to go, but they're on. So I did not powder them just because there's just no need to. So the very, very last thing are my lips. So I want to create like a pinky nude. So this is the color I came up with. And I mixed the white, red, pink, and then brown. And I think I'm going to add just a tiny bit more brown. Just because I don't want it too pinky. I just want it like the perfect pink nude. Okay, this is way too light for me. I look like I just ate a glazed donut and I hate it. So I'm gonna go in, just gonna add some black, just the tiniest amount of black. So this is pretty much the finished look just for giggles. I wanna try to highlight myself. Gonna go in with the gold and oh, here we go. This could literally ruin everything. This side's already screwed up because I got black all over. Very cautiously try to. Oh my god. I cannot believe this is actually somewhat working. Oh, thank God. All right, you guys, so here is finally the finished look. What do we think? It's a little cakey. From further away, doesn't look bad. For stage makeup, it'd be fine. Honestly, this was such a fun challenge. It was definitely a little bit, in certain parts, a little bit trickier than others. But I think this is a really great way to really educate yourself on color theory and how different colors work together and undertones and how to actually use color theory in your makeup applications on a daily basis, whether it's tinting your foundation, matching colors with your outfits, or the colors of your eyes, or the colors of your glasses, like anything, color theory comes in handy. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, all of the product, the one product that I use will be down in the description box as always, along with all of my social media. And if you guys could subscribe and give your girl a thumbs up for more videos, that would be greatly appreciated. And again, thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next one, bye!